Central Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
It is the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. I'm CJ Baumgartner, our guy Zeke over on the far side of the screen, and Corey, a.k.a. Not Kyle, also in here as well. If you need any further justification or clarification on that, go to YouTube, type in Hubbard Radio Wadena, find the Morning Sports Desk, and you'll see what this is all about. It's why you need to watch the shows on YouTube. They're great. Not only can you see Not Kyle, but you can also see Mobile Zeke. And Zeke, you're out and about kicking off our high school sports broadcast schedule this fall.
I am. I'm at the Vintage Golf Club in Staples. The 2025 Central Minnesota River Run just wrapped up, and so we're awaiting the podium finishes and the trophy presentation and all that fun stuff. So fall sports season is finally here. It definitely felt like it this morning. I think it was like 57 degrees when the first race started. Sun is coming out now. It's a bit warmer. My watch says it's only 52, but if it is only 52, it's a warm 52. I think my watch is a little off today.
You know what they call it? They call that perfect running weather, you know?
Oh, I know it. It was 85 degrees at this meet last year, and everyone I talked to was so thankful that it was not that again. So we'll take upper 50s, low 60s any day of the week.
Any highlights or any standouts from what was essentially the first meet of the year?
Yeah, first meet of the year for a lot of these teams. Bertha Hewitt is here. They were at state last year. Brady Rock just absolutely dominant in his first race. He's the defending Park Region Conference champion, 15th place at state. He wins his race by about 40 seconds. I don't have the full stats in front of me right now. I'll have an article up on WadenaRadio.com here in a bit here. But Brady Rock just absolutely dominant in his race, as was Audrey Brunell of Staples-Motley. She won her race by a little more than half of a minute. Defending state champion there. So I think that the main talking point is the teams that showed up today and how good the teams were. We're talking Park Rapids area. They won for the boys. Park Rapids area and Fergus Falls finishing a tight 1-2. The Minnewaska area girls won their race. They're defending 6A champions. I think there were 5 programs here that were at state last year that kicked off their season here at the Vintage. So it was no shortage of talent, both individual or team-wise, at the opening meet of the season.
Can you go look for a couple of my golf balls at the driving range off of 9? Because last time I played there, I hit a few into it.
Well, it's weird because they take off on the course here. They run down the fairway of hole 1. And usually when I'm teeing off on hole 1, I'm in the guy's yard on the right side of the fairway.
Yes.
And so seeing that many people go right up the fairway didn't help my self-esteem for my golf game. It was weird. That's not the path I usually take. I cut corners here at the Vintage.
Right.
Zeke, there's a lot of standouts, like you said, with Brady Rock and Bertha Hewitt, and I know that there's some other standout runners here as well. What other things did you notice? Any kind of other notable performances that you want to share with us about the race today?
Yeah, kind of the story coming into the season for specifically Bertha Hewitt is needing a couple more runners to join that program. Talking to Brady Rock earlier this morning, they have 5 runners out, and that's exactly what you need to qualify for state. Well, they have 3 seniors and 2 8th graders. The 2 8th graders ran in the junior high race. They won that race, took first and second, and they just had their 3 runners left for the team race, and they only had 3 scorers, so they weren't up in the team portion. Same with the girls. I mean, Kendra Miller took 3rd place overall today, but not able to have the numbers to compete as a team. And you want to talk about hoping for no injuries. I mean, that's one thing that Brady told me. He says, we're praying that we don't have any injuries, because if we have one injury on our team, we're done competing as a team. It's a team that's been to the state meet back-to-back years, took 3rd place a couple years ago. Not as high of a finish last year, and then hoping to get back to that same spot, because Section 6A on the boys' side it's winnable this year. I mean, you look at the teams in there and the teams that were here today, and if Bertha can find another more gems in to join the Bears cross country team, I mean, that's what you're looking for, is just a couple more bodies to build up those numbers in the program. Kenny Miller last week told me we're the smallest school. We're the smallest cross country school in the state, and to have the success that we've had these last 2 seasons, you need the numbers to keep going. And there's no shortage of heart with this cross country program with Bertha Hewitt, but they just need a couple more runners to step up and join this squad.
Yeah, it really does seem in cross country kind of in general over the last few years. Like it has been a lot of Bertha Hewitt. It has been a lot of Staples-Motley. It has been a lot of Perham. But especially this year, and when you consider that section, or you consider some of these teams involved, it is an area dominated by a few names who have just been doing it for close to a half a decade at this point.
Yeah, and the thing with cross country this season is you look at both the Park Region and the Heart of Lakes Conference. I mean, in my opinion, the Heart of Lakes Conference is the toughest conference in the state of Minnesota. You've got Staples-Motley, you've got Perham, you've got Hawley. I mean, these are all blue blood cross country programs. Then you've got a Breckenridge Wappington, who took second place today in the girls race, 70 points. They beat Fergus Falls, a 2A school, I believe. And they're being Park Rapids area, also in the Heart of Lakes Conference now. And look at the boys' side. Park Rapids won today. They're also in the Heart of Lakes Conference for the second straight year after the Mid-State Conference dissolved, and most of those teams came into the Heart of Lakes. Then the Park Region Conference with UNC and with Bertha Hewitt, and it's just, there is so much good cross country in this area that we need to take advantage of that and start giving these kids these dues. And that's why we're here, is to what's the word I'm looking for as I get up on my soapbox here, is to highlight what these kids are doing year after year after year. And it's so much fun to be a part of these, and they're so positive. And right now it's just kids just mingling. Quick story, in the junior high race, my niece Anna Warner won that race. She spent the first few years of her life at the New York Mills School, and then they moved to Staples. And today in the junior high race, it was Staples-Motley and New York Mills, and she was competing against all of her former classmates in that sixth grade race. And so she said it was fun to see some of those people, guys she didn't know were out for cross country, and just to reconnect with that. And that's kind of what the spirit of cross country is. It's just the camaraderie. That's what's cool to see.
All right, I have 2 questions. If she would have still been for New York Mills, would that have meant New York Mills would have won the junior high? Like, was it literally her presence alone?
Did that tip the scales?
Well, she did win it. First of all, I want to brag on that for a little bit.
Yep.
And second of all, I think there were 8 total runners in the junior high in the sixth grade race. I think 3 were for Staples-Motley and 5 were for New York Mills. So I guess it would have tipped the scales quite a bit. Yes.
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention is that none of us were runners, right? None of us, but all of our families have been very involved in running. Like both of my brothers were runners. My one brother is a women's track coach at Hamlin and is very involved in the running community still to this day. And because of that, when your family is so involved, like yours is, Zeke, and CJ, like with your brother as well, one of the things that we learned, I learned by following along with my brothers, was like, I played sports where it was all about me stopping you and you stopping me. It's very combative and very competitive, and you took it personally. You hated other people. And if you've never been to a cross country meet, if you've never been to track and field in the spring, it is without a doubt the most communal sports. Like, the vibes are just high always. To, I guess, get a little buzzwordy, these kids love each other, all of them, across all sports. And if you've never been to cross country before, I cannot recommend it enough. They're unbelievable events, and super, you talk about sportsmanship. That's the thing that's preached by all these schools, the high school league, radio stations, everybody alike. If you want to see actual true sportsmanship, you have to go to a cross country event, because it oozes with that feeling.
Yeah, it's great. Let's not give it too much credit. I've heard stories of cleat marks on Achilles. I've heard stories of dudes getting pushed into trees on the course. So there still is that competitive edge there. It's not all rainbows and ponies, but yeah, it more so than a game like football or something like that.
That's exactly right.
All right, Zeke, what other news and notes do you have on us? What have you found out at the race today? No kids get pushed into trees today, or what are other notable things do we need to know about today?
I didn't see the medical cart go out today. I think the biggest note is rest and recuperation, because a lot of the teams that were here today are going to be at the Joanna Olson Invite in Wadena a week from tomorrow at Whitetail Run. We'll be there broadcasting live for that one as well. And then you've got the Dragon Invite at Blue Stem at MSUM the weekend of, I think, September 5th. I think it's September 5th, because I think a lot of kids that were running in that may compete in the Dick Beardsley races in Detroit Lakes on the 6th. We're off and running. I've tried to put together like a master list of cross country meets, and it's all over the place. There's people this week running in Breckenridge, and they're running in Brainerd, and it's all schools that we're planning on covering this week. So it's all over the place. It's awesome, and it's a great way to start the 2025 broadcast schedule.
Yeah, you mentioned you're going to be in Wadena next week for that. Why don't you just shoot out the time and shoot out where people can listen if they're interested?
Yeah, it'll be right around 4:30. We'll have broadcasts on the Superstation K106. We'll have updates, of course, on WadenaRadio.com and Sports Cow as well. And want to give Wadena Deer Creek their props as well. They ran in that Brave Like Gabe invite in Perham on Saturday. I think there were more than 40 teams there, over 1,000 runners, and in their division, which was just made up of Class A schools, I think the girls took second and the boys took third, or maybe that was flipped around. So that's another program in the Park Region Conference that you have to watch out for is the Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines, and Mike Brunsberg has those guys running really well to start the season.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking with Mike here coming up for a Wolverines Weekly Coaches Show later on this week. So it'll be really exciting to get the scoop on what's going on there. A lot of great running right now, even though not every team is, like you said, up to the big sizes or maybe numbers they want to. There are still a lot of good runners right now, a lot of great things happening in local cross country. So Zeke, any other words, anything you want to get off your chest while we have you here, or are you looking to sneak into the clubhouse and get a bite to eat?
It's 11:15. I think Tower Pizza's open. I'm going to go swing by Tower and then head to my next gig.
All right, Zeke, he's been there at the Central Minnesota River Run in Staples. Zeke, thanks for hopping on, and we'll talk with you next week when we talk a little Joanna Olson meet coming up next week as well.
You bet. You boys be good.
We'll try. That's Zeke. He's covering things here on the Morning Sports Desk. Corey, one more time, too, as we wrap up and we let Zeke kind of do his thing here. We got games coming up this week as well that we need to talk about and things that are happening. The biggest thing to know is that we're back.
We're back officially, and Zeke's coverage of cross country today was the official kickoff to our fall sports broadcast coverage. But later this week, Thursday, we've got 2 volleyball games on the calendar. We've got 2 football games on the calendar for Friday. Of course, Twins continue for the next, 5 weeks or something like that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Vikings don't have anything this weekend, but their season kicks off in a couple of weekends. So, yeah, we are completely in the mix of it. And if it isn't up yet, I guess I haven't looked closely enough. It's going to be very soon. Our entire fall sports broadcast schedule, not only for the week, but the entire fall, should be up at WadenaRadio.com. So I want to encourage you to check that thing out. Some highlights, I know, CJ, and I don't want to steal all your thunder here, but include Staples-Motley Cardinal game of the week football every Friday night on AM 1430, 98.5 FM The Fan. We'll also have a volleyball game of the week. I think I can't remember if that's every Thursday or if that's spread out
once a week.
Yeah. But then Wadena Deer Creek, excited to partner with them again. They'll have football on the Superstation every Friday night, plus a volleyball game of the week. That probably is Twins, depending on what station that goes on, and other area games as well. It's a fully stacked, fully produced, fully loaded fall sports schedule. And in 8 weeks, it's all over.
Exactly. And don't forget, by the way, we will have a regional volleyball game of the week as well. So if you're not a Wolverine or a Cardinal fan, don't worry. We got you covered. We are going to be sending Corey all around, and he'll be kind of getting the beat on what's going on in this volleyball season. And then, like you said, yeah, as soon as you're like, oh, cool, I'm in a little bit of a rhythm, coaches are like, yeah, we're just trying to gear up, try and find our rotations for playoffs. That's coming up in 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. So it's a fun fall sports season. It's always the first few weeks of the fall sports season are some of my favorite. There's just such a different buzz about it than when the start of basketball or the start of baseball or, like those fall or those winter and spring sports. There's a different buzz in the air for each of them, but it's just a unique thing about the fall sports and kind of the season turning, the school year starting up. There's just a new energy kind of in the building. There's a new energy with teams and things like that. And we got to check in on some of those new energies as well in all of our season preview videos where I am doing some football. There's still some more to come this week, by the way. Follow Sports Cow on Facebook. Keep watching on YouTube on the Morning Sports Desk and finding that Hubbard Radio-Wadena YouTube page. I know that Corey's got some tennis videos that we're going to talk about here in just a second. There's volleyball videos that are up, and Zeke has had some cross-country previews as well that are online at wadenaradio.com or Sports Cow on Facebook as well. Corey, we're going to wrap up the show here by talking a little tennis previews, and you're going to give us all of the tennis previews. And before we start all of that, just kind of as a big kind of culmination, just what was it like kind of gathering this and getting to know these tennis teams this year?
Well, it's fun, right? Like you've mentioned it, Zeke mentioned it, I've mentioned it. If you talk to Kyle, he's talked about it. It's the start of the fall season, and they do have it has a different vibe because it's not just the start of a new season. It's the start of a new school year in general this fall. So it's the thing that kind of cauterizes the start of the school year, and everybody's mind starts to shift a little bit come mid and late August towards the new thing. And much like we heard from Zeke with cross country, there's going to be in girls tennis, there's going to be individuals, be it singles or doubles players that are going to stand out. But there's been, at least as far as the teams who got back to me and responded, like, yeah, we've got a lot of returning players, but we're young. So we've got varsity experience, but we need to grow that experience and mature as players. Or, hey, we've got this player back and she's very good, but the rest of the team is there's a lot of that. Like, it seems to be a transitional year, even as far as girls tennis goes, but the teams that are stalwarts in the area and have always been stalwarts in the area will once again be teams that we are talking about at the end of the year. I know that's very vague, but like you mentioned, wadenaradio.com, all of these videos are up on YouTube. Search Hubbard Radio-Wadena. Check out Sports Cow on Facebook. You'll be able to see all of the girls' tennis previews that we've had, and along with Zeke's cross country. There's a few volleyball videos up, and CJ is continuing to pump out a ton of fall sports football. But today, our seems like girls' tennis is going to be the focus, and it's going to be exciting to see what already they have like 3 matches into the season, a lot of these girls' tennis programs.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to let you take over with those tennis previews, and we'll be back throughout the week to build up more sports content. We also will have the football videos, the volleyball videos, and stuff like that come up later in the week. So just keep listening here or watching on YouTube to the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Hey, thank you for watching this episode of the Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. We're going to take a little break from the video here to remind you about all the great things that the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena has going on throughout the week. There is so much to do at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, and so many things that they offer for you and your family. If you look at Mondays, half-priced games in the FunZone Arcade, half-price play Mondays, every Monday at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Tuesdays, kids 10 and under eat free, 1 kid per full-priced adult. I know so many families that say Tuesday is our Pizza Ranch day. We love taking it out. It's like a weekly tradition for everybody to hang on out at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Wednesdays are double points day for your Ranch rewards, for your FunZone cards, for all that great stuff. You get double points. That's like doubling your money, doubling the deals, doubling all the great stuff when you go to Wednesday's double points day at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena every single Wednesday. Thursday is a wing night on the buffet. Those things are so tasty, different sauces, different flavors, and you get to enjoy those boneless wings at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Every Thursday is their buffet specialty with the wing night on the buffet. Monday through Saturday, tons of super fun in the arcade. You can do stuff all the time, playing those great games, doing those great things, getting points, and turning that into prizes. Some of the best prizes around recently in Anthony Edwards autographed basketball was one. There's mystery jerseys, mystery autographed helmets. There are just so many things. Pokemon cards, baseball cards, football cards, candy, anything you want. The Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade has it. PlayStations, Yeti coolers, giant teddy bears. I don't know. Whatever prize you can conceive imaginable, it's hanging up for you at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Go check them out. Highway 71 right in downtown Wadena. You can't miss them. You'll see the big Pizza Ranch logo, and you'll also see just the glow, the appeal of the FunZone Arcade as you drive past. It's the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Go check them out. All right, back to the video.
Time for another Sports Cow Fall Sports Preview, this time for Long Prairie Gray Eagle girls tennis. Keith Kraska is returning as head coach of the Thunder program. He's been in the program 3 years. This is year number 2 as head coach for Coach Kraska. Nikki Rohde, Jessica Hovland join as assistants on this year's team. Now, a number of returning letter winners for the Long Prairie Gray Eagle Thunder girls tennis program. Check this out. Kylie Kraska's an 11th grader. So is Amy Hernan and Reagan Larson, all juniors returning to the program. Delaney Beach and Annika Bitz, Addison Hovland are all sophomores who are returning letter winners to the program. Laura Hernandez and Jaden Ludvigsen are 8th graders and returning letter winners to this program. 2 other players, Jada Stucco and Leah Kuhlman, both juniors, return and will contribute on the Thunder girls tennis program this year. But maybe the most unique thing about Long Prairie Gray Eagle girls tennis, they have their full roster returning. You heard that, not a single senior within the program. They didn't graduate a senior from the program. Their full roster is returning, even some new players added into the mix. So Coach Kraska says keys to having a successful season really is going to be about gaining even more experience. This team is young, but this team is experienced, so the more experience you can add to that arsenal, obviously, the more success eventually due down the line. Osakis, the top team in both the conference and the section, teams to worry about for Long Prairie Gray Eagle going forward. That is our Sports Cow Fall Sports Preview for Long Prairie Gray Eagle girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
This is a Sports Cow Fall Sports Preview for Park Rapids area Panthers girls tennis. Brianne Morris is back as the head coach. Year 15 as head coach of Panthers girls tennis. Actually 17 years in the program, but yeah, year 15 as head coach. Lane Miles is there as an assistant to help lead this program again in 2025. Just 3 returning letter winners for the Panthers on this year's squad. And young, 3 juniors, Madeline Brandt, Addie Frieden, and Emma Morris, the returning letter winners there. 9 other players are really expected to make pretty significant contributions on this Panthers club this year. Again, young. A couple of seniors, Sophia Gauthier and Jalen Hensel. The seniors, Danica Jensen, Madison Himongo. Juniors, and then all underclassmen, McKenna Monham, Avery Ross, Evie Eller. Sophomores, Elsie Forbes will contribute as a freshman, Haley Larson as an 8th grader. 10 other players also on the roster, so plenty of players on that roster for the Panthers. And that's good. The numbers are strong, and they need to be strong because Park Rapids area lost 11 players from last year's squad due to graduation. According to Coach Morris, strengths going into this season is without a doubt this team's strong foundation. Yeah, they're young. Yeah, there's not a lot of varsity experience on this roster, but they're really hardworking. They have a solid understanding of the game. They have good mechanics. They have good technique. They're very coachable. They're very competitive. And it's that sort of drive and positive mindset, says Coach Morris, that's going to really serve them well as they gain more match experience throughout the season. So with that inexperience, the keys for a successful season for Park Rapids area girls tennis in this year will just be having that positive mindset and being mentally strong and taking advantage and understanding those learning opportunities as they happen. And if that does happen, Coach Morris says, we're going to improve and grow all season long. Staples-Motley, Thief River Falls, and Crookston, the primary contenders in the section this year. And that is a nice sports girls tennis preview from Sports Cow for Park Rapids area girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
Hey, this is a Sports Cow fall sports preview for Staples-Motley girls tennis. Nikki Paskowitz back as head coach for her second year in that head coaching position, 3 years overall in the program. Katie Noska and Stacy Schultz join as assistants in the program this year. Staples-Motley, great success 1 year ago, and they're returning a number of letter winners from Ronnie Noska and Jada Holst to Madison Perius, Kaylee Perius, also Natalie Hansen, Sarah Kroll, Mia Pesta, Charlie Noska, and Lydia Roloffs, all returning letter winners to this year's Cardinals girls tennis program. Alexa Dolezal, Lauren Dolezal, and Carolyn Hoppy all expected to contribute pretty significantly again this year. And then Katie Erickson and Grace Halverson and Cameron Brenna, all a part of the team for the first time this year. Now, the Cardinals did lose 3 players to graduation from a season ago, but really the strength of this Cardinal program, according to Coach Paskowitz, is strong returning players. Not only are those players returning strong, really qualified, quality, good players, but they're in their appropriate spots. They've all kind of settled in. They know where they are. They know where they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to play. They're in the appropriate spots for their skill level, and there's lots of really good character on this program. They're young and excited and ready to play. Some keys, according to Coach Paskowitz, for a successful season, obviously, working hard, working on competitiveness, teamwork, relationships, and just having lots of fun in what is a pretty great sport. Thief River Falls, Crookston, East Grand Forks, the other top teams expected in that section this year, according to Coach Paskowitz in the Staples-Motley Cardinals girls tennis program, where she says, man, they're really looking forward to a fun year of tennis. And there's high expectations. We think we can really go far, says Coach Paskowitz, and I'm honored to be able to coach this group of girls. A Sports Cow Fall Sports preview for Staples-Motley girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
This is a Sports Cow Fall Sports preview for Parker's Prairie girls tennis. Jeremy Rapp head coaching the Panthers again this year. It's second year in that role as head coach, although third year in the program. Christina Truax will assist again this year, her second year in that Panther girls tennis program. 9 returning letter winners for the Panthers this year as this 2025 start to the season approaches. Seniors Anna Helling, Kaylin Jensen, Izzy Langager, Brooke Schilling, along with sophomores Abby Kep, Joanna Kruger, Michaela Vogt, Lillian Woodbridge, and even 8th grader Hattie Truax a returning letter winner to the Panthers program this year. 9 other players on the roster expected to contribute in some way, shape, or form, including Becca Ehlers, McKinley Basil, Mika Hoppe, Tenley Heinrichs, Eliza Kruger, Presley Basil, Payson Griniger, Bailey Johnson, and Caitlin O'Brien. That's ranging from 7th grade all the way up through that sophomore level. The strength of this Panther program this year, according to Coach Rapp, many returning varsity players. I mean, you heard it, 9 returning letter winners from last year's program. And Coach Rapp says some of the keys to a successful season for Parker's Prairie this year is these girls are very competitive. But on top of it, it's a happy group of girls. They really do like each other, so trying to maintain that competitiveness and that kind of like happy-go-lucky way of life is really important to the success of the program this year. Osakis, the top team in the conference. Look out for Crookston, Thief River Falls, and Staples-Motley within that section. But expecting fun things there in Parker's Prairie. A Sports Cow fall sports preview for Parker's Prairie girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
Here it is, your Sports Cow fall sports preview for Brainerd girls tennis. Head coach Garrett Gaydon is back for year number 2 for the Warriors this year, 19-3 last season. He is joined on the coaching staff, Ellen Fussy, an assistant, and Jacob Mitchell, an assistant. The Warriors have a number of returning letter winners, including seniors Cam Kramer, Rebecca Sukup, Leah Sukup, Jessica Cole, and Ava Haskell, along with junior Piper Grillo and Abigail Isaacson. While Taryn Mattoon, a sophomore, a returning letter winner for Warriors girls tennis this fall season. All expected to obviously make a huge impact on the program this year. But that also includes senior Samantha Sesson, who is expected to make a significant contribution for Warriors girls tennis. Brainerd lost 3 players to graduation, but you can see all of those players returning back to this season's team. One of the strengths, according to Coach Gaydon, of Warrior girls tennis, lots of flexibility. Says lots of players who can transition from singles to doubles or vice versa with quite a bit of fluidity. And when you take a look around the CLC, Brainerd right in the mix as far as the conference title goes. Fergus Falls, St. Cloud, Alexandria, all expected to be top teams competing for that CLC title. Elk River, Bemidji, and Brainerd, top teams across the section. Your Sports Cow fall sports preview for Brainerd Warrior girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
Here's a Sports Cow fall sports preview for the Perham New York Mills girls tennis team. Jamison Miller back as head coach for that program again this year. Year 14 as head coach, year 14 in the program. And Jamison Miller, a great bevy of assistant coaches to help out. Dave Cressup, an assistant head coach. He's been doing it for 14 years. Hope Schmitz and Kira Radnicki are assistants within the program as well. Now, the Yellow Jackets will return 5 letter winners from last year's program. Kaya Anderson, Bella Hoovey, Lucy Walgren, Miley Anderson, and Andy Jenke, all seniors, and tons of leadership within that returning letter winner department for Perham New York Mills. But 8 other players expected to significantly contribute to this year's program, from junior Cora Weiser to sophomores Aurora Jabas, Lauren Jurdy, Hazel Dykoff, and Nora Murdoch, and even freshmen Liliana Kletke, Kensley Rodwald, and Talia Vandermay will all contribute there as well. Now, it's a lot of players coming back. That's a lot of players expected to contribute. But this program did lose 7 seniors to graduation from last year's program. So, according to Coach Miller, he says they're really going to have to lean on some of those experienced players, but there's going to be new roles for a lot of those players. So,
the goal for them, for the team, for the program is to get some quick, fast experience needed throughout the season on what those new roles are going to be, who's going to slot in where, who's going to fit in best with each other and in what spots. So that way when you get to section tournament time, we're all slotted in, of course, and ready to roll. Fergus Falls and Becker, the top teams in the section. And that's a quick fall sports preview from the Sports Cow for Perham New York Mills girls tennis.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
This is a Sports Cow fall sports preview for the Alexandria Area Cardinals girls tennis program. Coach Nick Jansen is back helming the Cardinals girls tennis team, 5th year, 55-46 career record for Coach Jansen, joined by Jackie Stifter, Levi Dueniger, and Chloe Johnson as assistants on the staff. This year's Cardinals team returns 8 players to the roster. Carly Luke, Hope Stark, Caden Simon, Addison Stevenson, Bentley Creel, Sam Whaley, Lucy Whitty, and Kennedy Stevenson, and also a number of newcomers joined the Cardinals tennis program this year, including Lily Ecken, Lexi Dummer, Peyton Revering, Shelby Nelson, Stella Olson, and Asta Richards. Now, according to Coach Jansen, he says practice this year with full effort is the expectation for this team. Practice with a full effort, focus each day, and then bring that competitive spirit when it comes to each match. Strengths of the program for the Cardinals tennis team this year, a ton of experience. The team loves to play tennis. They spent a lot of time on the court together this past summer, even going back to this past winter. It's a really great group. They have a really positive mindset, and they really do desire to get better each and every single day. Coach Jansen says really the biggest thing from that point forward, they love the game, but need to improve that ability to play with a purpose and anticipate at a high level. They really want to compete this season for the conference and the section title. Top teams in the conference, by the way, include Fergus Falls, St. Cloud, and Brainerd, with Bemidji and Elk River the top teams within that section. Alexandria Area Cardinals girls tennis, a Sports Cow fall sports preview.
Thank you to our sponsors for making this fall sports preview video possible. Central Building Supply, First International Bank and Trust, Kern and Tawbury, Leaf River Ag, Southside Sinclair, Verndale School, West Central Telephone, and Lakewood Health System.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.